Everyone, this is Dr. Kalpana. You are watching my YouTube channel Pharmacy Lessons Made Easy. Today we shall be talking in continuation of the previous video, which was related to the start of flow of fluids. In that particular video we have started with the manometers and its different types, how to use them and what are its applications. Today we shall be talking about Bernoulli's theorem and its applications. Module 1A, that is flow of fluids, and as you are aware that this comes under the B.Pharm third semester PCI syllabus of pharmaceutical engineering with the subject code BP204. So let's begin. As far as Bernoulli's theorem is concerned, in this particular video we shall first talk about what Bernoulli's theorem is, what is the concept of the different components which are being utilized in Bernoulli's theorem, that is kinetic energy, potential energy and pressure energy. This you might have already gone through during your previous classes studies like 10th, 12th in the science stream as well. So this time it would be a comparatively higher level. The concept will be the same about kinetic, potential and pressure energy, and at the end, once we are very much acquainted with the Bernoulli's theorem, we shall study where do we apply this Bernoulli's theorem specifically in pharmacy field. So let's have a quick recap of what Bernoulli's theorem is all about, who discovered it and what do it talk about. As it is a theorem, particularly it would be related definitely with the mathematics. So it was first derived in 1738 by Swiss mathematician Daniel Bernoulli, and the basic principle from which it is actually derived is the principle of conservation of energy. So when the principle of conservation of energy is applied particularly to the flow of fluids, then this theoretical tool is able to solve many quantitative problems using Bernoulli's theorem. By the term quantitative problems, what it actually means is you are not trying to find the type of flow of any fluid, but also quantitatively you can tell that this much is the flow, this much is the pressure energy, this much is the kinetic energy, this much is the potential energy. So on the whole, you will be having all the aspects ready with you quantitatively in terms of figures, numerals, rather than simply saying yes or no, how much, higher or lower, how much higher, how much lower. So that is the meaning here in quantitative. In steady state, for an ideal flow of an incompressible liquid, the total energy is actually the sum of potential energy, kinetic energy and that of the pressure energy in any point of the fluid, and it remains constant. This is actually the statement of Bernoulli's theorem. So let's understand it in more detail. Flow of any incompressible liquid, the total energy is the sum of potential energy, kinetic energy and the pressure at any point of the fluid, and it remains constant. That is the actual statement which was put forward by Bernoulli. In other words, we are using a non-viscous incompressible fluid. We are talking about the total sum of energy. The energies which are being constituted in that total are kinetic, potential and pressure energy per unit of constant volume. And when the fluid is a viscous flow, the law of conservation of energy can be applied, taking into consideration the losses in energy also due to friction and all other places where the loss may take place. So as shown here, we can consider a pump which is working under a constant temperature. That means it is working under isothermal conditions, and the liquid is being conveyed from the point, let's say A point, that is x A feet or h feet above the reference point, and this reference point is actually called datum, to the point B, which is at h2 height above the reference point datum, and it is shown in the figure. So like the pump which is working in between is actually working to compress, to transport that particular liquid from point A to point B. And what happens during its journey from point A to point B is, so the point A, suppose the pressure energy we are considering at point A, it will be P1, and with V1 velocity this particular fluid is flowing at point A, and the height is h1 as we have already discussed. So the total energies constituted by this flow of fluid at point A would be the sum of its pressure energy, kinetic energy and potential energy per unit volume. The pressure energy would be P1, the kinetic energy will be half rho V1 square, and the pressure energy per unit volume will be rho gh. It's not P, it's rho. Okay, rho means density. And if we consider the point B, which is shown above, the datum point at an height h2, the total energy per unit volume would be P2 plus half rho V2 square plus rho g h2. So what is the meaning of displaying all these here? It is being put forward by Bernoulli speaking about the total energy. The reason being, it has to be emphasized by the scientist that the energy is actually getting conserved. If one of the energy is getting down, to balance the same, to keep the total energy in equilibrium, the second energy will shoot up. Okay, so just to maintain that equilibrium state and the balance, the Bernoulli's theorem was put forward. So let's have a quick review of each and every term once again. That is pressure energy, potential energy and kinetic energy. These three energies have been utilized in that particular equation. Pressure energy is Pa upon rho A into G. Potential energy is Xa. Kinetic energy is UA square by 2G. Where Xa is the height or the position of the fluid with respect to the reference point that we call as datum. Pa is the pressure at point A, G is the acceleration due to gravity, rho is the density of the liquid. So don't get confused between H1 and Xa, they are the same. Like H1 is the height at point A, which was shown in the diagram, but to represent it for that particular point, we have represented it by Xa here. So it doesn't make any differentiation among them. It's just a way of representation of the same term. Okay, so if we take all the energies in total, so that will be Pa upon rho into G plus Xa plus UA square by 2G is equal to constant. So at point A and at point B, both these terms will be, their sum will be constant if the liquid is incompressible. Okay, so that another point to be noted here is, maybe from traveling the fluid from point A to point B, there are some losses in the during the flow of the fluid in terms of energy, so that will also be considered. And other than that, a pump was placed so as to transport the fluid from point A to point B, so that means we are adding up the energy for it to flow from point A to point B, so that will also be considered during Bernoulli's equation calculation. Other than that, all these three terms in terms of pressure, potential and kinetic energy, their units would be equal, and they are in addition. We are using additional sign, plus sign, addition sign there. Okay, so just note these points very carefully. So if we take both the points all together, the same way, energy input will be equal to energy output, and the final equation, if we equate the 2 points, the 2 constant total energies, then the final equation will be Pa by rho into G plus Xa plus UA square by 2G is equal to Pb by rho B into G plus Xb plus Ub square by 2G. Now, as I told you, we are actually inputting energy for it to get pumped from point A to point B. So additional work W in joule has been done. This energy has to be added in the equation because this was provided by the pump for moving the liquid from point A to point B. Also, there were some losses in energy like friction losses, losses due to the change in direction or some eddy currents development. So all these energies which are lost will be converted into another form of energy. Maybe it is heat energy due to frictional losses. So that has to be subtracted from the final equation. Okay, so minus F plus W is an additional one in the right hand side. So just note it as an additional step in the Bernoulli's equation. Now the thing is, where do we apply this Bernoulli's equation? It is actually applied for the measurement of rate of fluid flow using orifice meter, venturi meter, etc. Other than that, the centrifugal pump is also utilizing the Bernoulli's equation, because here the kinetic energy is converted into the pressure energy. We can also utilize Bernoulli's theorem or equation for measurement of height, and it applies in the terms of energy terms, right? So these all are the applications of Bernoulli's equation. Other than that, once you will see in the measurement of flow fluids like venturi meter, orifice meter, we shall study this particular application in quite detail in the upcoming video. So stay tuned with Pharmacy Lessons Made Easy. Hope you enjoyed this particular video. Do write in the comment section whatever you feel about this particular video, and if you want to have some additional knowledge other than this as per your PCI syllabus, if you have any curiosity regarding any topic, any doubt you feel, do write in the comment section. Even if you like this video, please share your valuable inputs in the comment section. That will be highly encouraging for me as well. Okay, thank you and have a nice time. For using this video, you may refer to my YouTube channel, Pharmacy Lessons Made Easy. These are the few references that I have utilized for preparing this particular video for you. Particularly the Badger book, Badger and Banchero, the Nagel book, Simpson latest edition, McCabe Smith Unit Operation of Chemical Engineering, Martins, Leckmans, C.V. Subramaniam, S.J. Carter, that is Cooper and Guns Tutorial Pharmacy, and my own book, that is Textbook of Pharmaceutical Engineering by Paging Publisher. So all these have been utilized for preparing this particular video. Thank you. Have a nice time.